It's a lot of fun playing Shadow of the Erdtree. Oh no, it's this attack.
One hit!
No!
Oh my god!
But it's a lot more fun destroying it. Oh yes, my fellow Tarnished, hello and welcome as I go over the best 5 most ridiculous builds that we have crafted so far for all your boss disintegrating needs. A lot of these you will have never seen before. A couple our takes on, let's be honest, the usual suspects, but all of them guaranteed to both be incredibly fun, but beyond that, more than get the job done. And it should be said, all of these builds will be linked down below if you like the look of them, where you can get a proper in-depth explanation on how they all work. But for now, in at number 5, how could anyone look at being completely unkillably immortal to any of the DLC bosses, able to just ignore what they're doing, their attacks, their existence, while you slam down for ludicrous amounts of damage, healing yourself through their pitiful hits, and generally being an unstoppable, holy juggernaut badass. This is so much fun, and is a DLC updated version of a little experiment I did back in the base game, where I simply asked the question, how much health is it actually possible to have? That has evolved now into, how much health is it possible to have in the realm of shadows? And also, how much damage reduction can you get? The answer is a lot on both counts. Nearly 3,600 health, while also having nearly 95% damage reduction, and all of that while still dealing silly amounts of pain because Colossal Weapon go bonk, and in this case, the Blood Fiend's arm do. I was very happy for us to use it not in the usual bleedy way that it's being used, and instead make it the tool to fuel this, well, literally godlike existence of a setup. There's a lot that goes into this, and if you are interested, like I said earlier, all of these builds can be found down below, and I heartily recommend you do in fact give this one a go. At number 4 then, let's get it out the way. Yes, perfume bottles, rolling sparks. We know, we all know. But I was not content with just use the thunder one and aim at the floor and jobs are good in, because, you know, it's a bit boring for me. I wanted to at least give it that extra cherry on top, and what's better than one-shotting bosses with explosions of perfumey goodness, well, doing it while also inflicting them with frostbite, making them take even more damage, and chunking through their health at the same time. Also making it boostable to things like Terra Magica, and weaving it all in to a full int build that you can then have anything extra on top you feel like using, and it just makes it this really awesome complete package that, yes, still righteously takes advantage of just how silly sparks are, but in a way that feels a lot more involved. And all of these lovely clips were back at Shadow Blessing like 11 or 12. Not using the madness combo, none of that silly stuff that you can, you know, push to make numbers look good, and yet still it does what it does, because, hey, it's just that good. So, while this will go down as one of the classics, I really do like our take on it. After that then, how do you feel about launching 2, well, nuclear missiles made out of string at every boss you see? This is Pest Threads, actually able to hit as hard or harder than rolling sparks in the right situation against the right boss, but in all cases, no matter what you're facing, will absolutely cleave them apart for you. a much harder hitting, much better tracking, multi-hitting, boring projectile that is an improvement over the original incantation in every single way, and then some. You can boost this absolutely massively, and this, unlike other builds, is a natural carrier and supporter of the new Madness combo for a cheeky plus 70% damage. There's not many ways to boost this physical damage dealing incantation, so this is a really natural fit, and as you can see, yeah, it really does get the job done. It is so much fun. You can charge it or not, depending on the size of your opening, and even the most small, agile of flippy bosses still can't outdo just how good it locks onto them. It will pass through them immediately 180 and then pass back through them, which is just excellent. It is the clear offensive incantation winner of the DLC, and for good reason. Combine it with a little bit of an endure dagger, so you can't even be interrupted while casting it, and the extra bonus that the crouching pose you go into cast it lowers your tarnished hitbox by so much you will naturally avoid so many swings that it does feel a little bit like a cheat code as you then launch your threads. This is incredibly enjoyable, and it really is quite special. Following that then, we are going into the realm of bleed. Because let's be honest, if there's one things that are always constant, it's death, taxes, and bleed being the best status in Elden Ring. And when applied via the lens of the new spinning gravity thrust Ash of War, with its insane multi-hit potential, yet still on a colossal weapon, yeah, you get a result that is quite pleasing to both behold and to play. You get serious hyper armor in the air, you can do the corkscrew spin twice, it's got really good tracking, and essentially you just ignore what the boss is doing and drill breaker them through. It's ridiculous to me that you can even set this to blood affinity. A lot of gravity ashes you can't, though technically cragblade you can. It depends where you stand on that. But at a baseline, being able to give something like Guts' greatsword nearly 200 bleed build-up, and then ignore everything while just boof, 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 the boss on top of huge bleed splats. You can call them bleed splats, right? That's definitely the best way to describe a bleed proc. Oh my god. And the result cannot be anything other than spectacular. Just the raw damage, because we can build in all of the multi-hit boosts like the Rotten Winged, is impressive enough, but the status, and indeed the best status on top of that, really pushes it over the edge, as you can see. There's a lot you can synergize into this as well to really give it that final little bit of broken damage, but it still gets beaten out, at least for me, with my personal favorite build. Though it should be said that all of these builds are ridiculous. I'm just ordering them in the way that, you know, I would most like to play. I've always been a sorcerer at heart, an int build player at heart, and when you are given a new Thorn sorcery that causes not one, but 2 bleeds per cast against the right targets, yeah, this is a little bit silly. Along with perfume bottles and the Blood Fiend's arm set to blood, I think will be the 3 main instant nerfs when the first patch rolls around. But for now, let's righteously abuse it. And we can do so thanks to the new arcane scaling glintstone staff that Mr. Ymir drops. Though that said, I have been playing this with just the normal loose sats in just a normal sorcery build without the arcane scaling on the staff to scale the bleed, and it's still been ridiculously good, beating the final boss in about, 40 seconds with like 10 casts. Obviously it's much faster and less with an arcane staff, but this thing is so bustedly strong, you don't even need to build around it to make it that strong. You just need to cast it. So when you do push it like this, give it the arcane staff, give it all of the damage boost the raw magic impact damage as well, weave in all of the blood loss boosts, you get something truly unrivaled. Coupled with the classic signature that I love to do, the right hand and jaw dagger, so you can just hyper armor and damage reduction your way through boss attacks while you cast it repeatedly. Yeah, it is the way. That said, I would make a few changes and improvements to this original build. We were all still learning what works with it. The thorn armor reportedly doesn't actually boost it because it's technically a different skull, so there's no need to wear it, and indeed the blood mask should be on anyway, and then the rest can just be rakshasas. Other than that, yeah, have at it, and your enemies will very much soon regret kind of coming anywhere near you. What I love about this is when bosses slowly approach you and you start casting it at range, even then it still will just instantly bleed them. Never mind when they get close to you and it does the shotgun triple spike on the spot effect, and then they really feel it, but you kind of get to do this amazing pokey damage at range too while you're waiting for that opportunity to arrive. So all in all, this is so brilliant, and I don't think need to hammer that home anymore at this point. We all know this one, and I was really happy to be one of the first to bring you a proper version of it. For now then, let me know what your favourite builds are so far, and of course look out for all of ours as they arrive. There is many more not mentioned here, many more to come, and I'm sure I'll be back with more roundups in the future. But until then, like if you enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell for more, consider supporting the future of the channel on Patreon down below, and until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.